All right, you want to hear something embarrassing? I thought I was in love, and the woman that I thought I was in love with, she ended up moving to the other side of the world with another guy and totally blocked me. Enter sob story and little violin music here, but seriously, it was someone that I thought I was in love with, and they totally left in the worst way possible. And maybe you can relate to that. Maybe there's someone that you really liked and it hasn't worked out for. Maybe you got cheated on. Maybe you got dumped. Maybe someone divorced you. And what happens is, whether we know it or not, we're unconsciously obsessing over it. A lot of times it's conscious. And this goes for just even people that you want to date, but you've never been able to get it to work out. And so in this video, I'm going to break down exactly how to stop obsessing and start letting go. This is the best relationship advice that I ever came across, and it allowed me to totally let go of this relationship that I thought was so great. And of course, after a little bit of depression and such, but it opened the door for me to actually have the most incredible life ever, and out of absolutely nowhere, attract my wife that I wasn't looking for. I wasn't trying to meet her, and the relationship is 10 million times better than the one before where the woman left. And I had no idea. And I'm going to show you exactly how to do that in 3 quick and easy steps to stop obsessing, start letting go, and begin attracting what you really want into your life. My name is Jake Ducey with JakeDucey.com. If you enjoyed this video, make sure that you hit the like button, subscribe, and of course, the bell notification. All right, step number 1 is to learn to love yourself first. And it sounds like a cliche, and I thought I understood that. I read personal development books, and I thought that means I understood what that meant. But the fact was, I didn't love myself. I thought I did, but I truly didn't. And I was trying to fill a void within myself in another relationship that wasn't right. I thought they were very attractive. I thought they were pretty dang cool, but there were certain red flags in the relationship I totally ignored. And the reason I totally ignored them is because I didn't want to be alone, I didn't totally love myself, and I didn't know what love was. And because of that, I became so involved in trying to make something work that really wasn't meant to work. And I became so attached to it that when she dumped me and blocked me and left for another guy, I didn't even know what to do with myself. So what do I mean by I didn't love myself? So first of all, I wasn't going to the gym anymore. My fitness was the worst it had been in my whole life. I was skinnier and weaker than I'd ever been in my whole life, so I had less energy. My finances weren't where I wanted them to be. I was just paying rent for a few $100 at a house with a bunch of roommates, and it always stressed me out. I didn't know what I wanted. I was unsure about how to accomplish my goals. My books weren't selling the way that I wanted them to sell. Nothing was really where I wanted it to be, and instead of dealing with that and facing that, I sought distraction and stimulation out of a relationship that wasn't right for me. And so when the relationship finally fell apart after I was depressed for a few weeks, it finally hit me, and I was like, this is so dumb. I'm literally unhappy because I'm wishing something was different than it is. I'm wishing someone else would change and take me back or date me or love me. And maybe you can relate to that in some way, shape, or form. Maybe your story's different, but it's a similar pattern. And I finally just said, this is so dumb. I don't need anybody to be happy. I don't even need to ever meet somebody. I don't need to date someone ever again to ever be happy. I have to build a life that I love. If I build a life that I love, and I accomplish my financial goals, my career goals, I get in the best shape of my life, so I'm energized, I'm confident, my life is gonna be amazing, and people are gonna be begging instead of me begging them. So I said, who cares if I never meet somebody? I'm gonna be happy. And I wanna ask you that same question. What do you need to do? For me, it was I started taking my health seriously again, getting in the gym every single day. I set clearly defined financial goals. I put them on my wall. I focused on them every single day. And instead of spending all my time trying to text this girl and get her to do this and think this way, I put all my time and energy into strategizing how to accomplish my career goals. I put all my time and energy into being happy, into understanding where my weaknesses were, where my lack of confidence came from, my deep insecurities. I focused on myself, and I focused on being happy and not needing anybody. And one of the ways to summarize this is that you don't need a reason to be happy. You don't. And you certainly don't need somebody else to make you happy. In fact, the only way to be happy with somebody truly is for you to be happy yourself first. And you can't attract the ideal relationship into your life unless that occurs. Otherwise, you attract relationships, but they're recyclable relationships. It's a term that I coined. A recyclable relationship is one in which we're trying to fill a void within ourselves by trying to pursue somebody else, get someone else to like us, get someone else to marry us, get someone else to date us, get someone else to sleep with us. And we're spending all of our energy out there trying to fill the void. But because of that, the relationship isn't whole and complete. And eventually it spirals in some way, shape, or form. It becomes self-defeating, unhealthy, it blows up, something happens. And you know the people like that. Every 6 months they have a new relationship. These are recyclable relationships. And the problem with that is, unless we go inward and we say, I'm gonna build the most amazing life ever, I'm gonna get inspired, I'm gonna find out who I am. Unless that happens, we can't meet a person like that and have the best relationship possible. Number 2, stop trying to go on dates. The only way to really let go is to try to stop finding somebody better than the last person. Because that was what I did right away, and that's what happens is the relationship doesn't work out with somebody or you're on pause. So then we try to get a bunch of other relationships and quickly find one that's better. Unconsciously, it takes our mind off of it, and we get in this frenetic energy where we really need and we really hope and we really wish and we become desperate. And in the Bible, it says, to those that have, more will be given. And to those that don't have, even that which they have is going to be taken away from them. And what that means is your consciousness of having or not having. To those that have, more is given. To those that don't have, even that which they have is taken away. Many people go into dating trying so hard because they're coming from a place of lack. I don't know if my soulmate's out there. I'm worried I'll always be alone, right? These are some of our deepest fears. We'll always be alone. We won't meet the right person. We aren't good enough. The right one isn't out there. Maybe they won't love us. And so we spend all of our time trying to fill that, and we bring that into the dates. And I found the way to break that fear, because that was my deepest fear, was, well, what if I never meet somebody better? Or what if I never meet the right person? Or what if I'm always alone, right? What if I never really find out what true love is? And so normally we try to fill that void by doing things, by going on dates, by finding the right person, learning how to do this or that, getting the next dating app. And those things are all fine and well. But if we never conquer the inner fear of being alone, fear of being unloved, fear of not finding the right person, if we never conquer that, then we bring that energy into every dating interaction or romantic relationship. And so my affirmation became, universe, you'll bring the perfect person at the perfect time into my life. Universe, you'll bring the perfect person at the perfect time into my life. So the way that I reframed it was, instead of trying to find the perfect date, I tried to become the perfect or best version of myself. And that's a never-ending goal. But I realized that instead of trying to get the right thing, I needed to make myself the right person. And so one of the ways to start letting go is to literally say to yourself that you're not even going to try. You're going to wait for the universe to bring the right person into your life. And that doesn't mean you just sit around in your room all day by yourself. It means that you go out and you live your purpose. You go out and you find your goals. You go out and you build a life that you love, that you're proud of. You focus on those things because at the end of the day, you're born alone and you die alone. And you're the most important person in your life. And when that becomes a priority, crazy things happen. And for me, it was out of nowhere after a while of spending this time on myself. I got in the best shape of my life. My career started taking off. I got my first book published with Penguin Random House. I was getting paid to write books. And I kind of forgot about dating at that point because then things started getting good, right? Like it almost became a distraction. And so my book agent called me and my book agent said, "Hey, Jake, my friend's gonna be at this birthday party and he's got a really pretty daughter and I want you to meet her." And I said, "I'm not gonna go meet her. I don't care. Like my last relationship didn't work out. I'm really not even thinking about it. I'm just focusing. Everything's really good in my life. I'm focusing on myself." And he's like, "Please, just come on. It's my birthday. We're having a little party. Just come over and meet her." And I was like, "All right, fine." And so I decided to go. And I didn't even think much about it. I'm like, I'll just be nice and, do my thing. And I walked into the door and I was standing there and then she walked into the door and my book agent pushed us next to each other like this and said, "Oh, look, the only two 20-year-olds here." And that was how we met. And that was really a moment I'll never forget because when I look back at it now, Ashley's now the mother of my beautiful baby daughter. We've been together now for many years. We're married now, and our life we've improved each other's lives in every way. I didn't know a relationship could ever be this good. It's 10 million times better than anything I could have ever imagined. And it's quite frankly amazing because I didn't try to get it at all. Literally, the universe will bring the perfect person to you once you can face those fears of being alone and you can redirect your energy towards creating the best version of yourself. So now, before we move on to number 3, I just want to repeat that affirmation is the perfect person will come at the perfect time. Thank you, universe. The perfect person comes at the perfect time. So comment that down below. The perfect person will come at the perfect time. Comment down below. The perfect person will come at the perfect time. Last but not least, when I did meet people, I took it slow, including with Ashley. And oftentimes when we get burned in a prior relationship, we quickly jump into the next one. And this becomes a habit that many of us do. And instead, Ashley and I didn't even define ourselves as boyfriend and girlfriend for a year of hanging out, dating, being together. It was very informal. We became friends, we became partners, we became, hey, bounce ideas off one another. But I said, look, here are my goals, here's everything I'm working on, and I need to make sure that I give myself 100% in this life. Because my last relationship, I poured all my energy into a relationship instead of into myself. And I realized that it also affected the relationship negatively because I wasn't full. And I don't believe it's two halves make a whole. I believe it's two whole people. And when two whole people are living their purpose, their dharma, their truth, growing, focusing on their financial goals, improving their health, when that becomes their primary motive and focus in life, freedom, right? Freedom, success, health, happiness. When that becomes the primary motive and both people are doing it and they become springs, trampolines to help one another, but the focus stays there, what happens is the relationship becomes very powerful in a lot of ways. Firstly, there's a lot less bickering, jealousy, fights because because the people are grounded in their truth and their purpose and their happiness. And second of all, they realize they don't need life or the relationship to be anything other than it is. Most people need the relationship to be something than it is. So they need to rush into it. They need to get married as fast as possible. They need to have kids as fast as possible. They need everybody to know that they're dating, so they post it on social media. They need to know everything the person is doing, so they're not talking to other people and the relationship doesn't get ruined, and then jealousy comes in. And when you let go and you're just like, hey, I'm a divine being, the truth of everything is divine love. And I know that if I love myself and I show up fully for myself in this life and I build the best life I possibly can, no matter what, focus on building an epic life. The perfect person will meet me there. Somebody else who's committed to the same thing out of nowhere. You'll drop the beans on aisle 7 of the grocery store and you will go down to pick them up. And guess who was also picking them up? Your future husband or wife. Right? Like, you're walking down the street and your wallet falls out of your pocket and they pick it up and they say, excuse me. And then you guys exchange a wallet and oh my goodness, look at those beautiful eyes, right? It just happens. You're focusing on building your real estate business or your art career or your entrepreneurial thing or to do better at work so you can get a bigger raise from your boss. And you're focusing and you're spending an extra hour on work than you should be. And you're kind of like, I don't want to be here. But then you turn around and oh my God, they're right there. You spark up a conversation and it's just the most natural feeling in the world. Boom, your soulmate manifests perfectly. And I firmly believe, and I'm a living testament of that, being on both sides of the fence, trying so hard to make one work and letting go of trying and focusing on building the best life I can. I've been on both sides of the fence. One makes you very happy and one leads to a great relationship. The other basically leads to chasing our tail around like a dog forever. And so if this video speaks to you, I want to remind you you are loved. I want to remind you you are worthy. I want to remind you you are good enough. I want to remind you that the perfect person is out there. And you may think it's one person, but it might be somebody else. When you can take a breath and just let go and say, universe, I trust that the right person will come at the right time. And I'm only alive once. I've got to live with myself every single day. I live in a marvelous universe and I'm going to achieve as much of my potential as possible. So, what inspires me? What uplifts me? What are my goals? You know how few people have goals? When you show up at a date and you guys start talking about life and you're like, well, here's my goals and here's what I want to be. Here's my big goals. They're going to be so attracted to you. They're going to be like, who the heck is this person? Who's this guy? Who's this gal? Nobody does it because everyone's trying so hard to get in a relationship and find things, and we forget about ourselves. You become way more attractive, way more charismatic. You have a vibe about you. And you become more attractive too because you don't need the relationship. Everyone else needs it. So every other date they went on the last couple months, they recognize the other people need it. I only have so much time left. I have to have a kid soon. I'm trying to find the right person. But you're just like, hey, my life's epic. I love it. Want to come on this journey with me? And boom, that becomes the fuel for an epic life and an epic relationship. All right, so if you enjoyed this video, I haven't made that many videos on relationships. If you enjoyed it, give me a comment down below that just says, love it, Jake, or thanks, Jake, or I dig it, Jake. Let me know in the comments down below if you enjoyed it. I'd love to hear from you. If you haven't yet, I have a free success hypnosis. It's in the description and comments right there down below. It's pinned to the comments. It's a free success hypnosis that I made to reprogram my subconscious mind. And I made this in the time before I met Ashley. And what I did is I listened to it every day. You have 65,000 thoughts in a day, 95% of them are subconscious. And so what I did is I reprogrammed my subconscious. Sub means below, so it's below conscious. And I reprogrammed it for success, for my goals, for attracting everything that I want, for feeling confident and worthy of what I want. And the results were amazing. You just gotta listen to it for a couple minutes every day. You'll attract more money, your career will improve, you'll attract the right people, you'll feel worthy of divine love. All these things start to happen in your life, and that's when real magic occurs. And my success hypnosis is free. It's right there down below, pinned to the comments and in the description right there down below. So go ahead and grab that. Just listen to it for a couple minutes every day and let me know the great results you get in your life. If you have used it, give me a comment down below. Let me know your success story. I'd love to feature it in a future video if you have an amazing story. So hit the like button right there or right there, wherever on YouTube universe it might be. That'll send this video out to more people. Make sure that you hit the subscribe button and the bell notification as well. The bell notification is what notifies you for new videos. So even if you're subscribed, just double check, have you hit the bell notification, because that's what notifies you now for new videos. Appreciate you watching this video. Great things are headed your way. I truly believe it.